Fraud as a service, the digital crime wave you need to know about. What if I told you that right now someone with zero technical skills is purchasing the tools to steal your identity for just $50 a month? Digital fraud caused nearly $700 billion in losses in Asia alone last year. And the criminals behind it aren't just working from basements anymore. They're using a business model that might sound uncomfortably familiar. It's called fraud as a service, or FaaS, and it's changing everything about how cybercrime works. After analyzing research from Interpol and cybersecurity experts, I've put together this breakdown of exactly how these criminal services operate, why they're growing so quickly, and most importantly, what you can do to protect yourself and your business. This isn't just about hackers anymore. It's about organized crime industrializing fraud at a scale we've never seen before. Companies that don't understand this new threat are seeing fraud losses increase by 500% or more. So let's dive into how this criminal SaaS model actually works. How FaaS works. FaaS operates almost identically to legitimate software businesses. The similarities are actually scary. They have slick user interfaces and dashboards that anyone can use. No coding required. Just point, click, and commit fraud. They offer subscription models with different service levels. Basic fraud packages starting around $50 a month, premium packages with all the bells and whistles for $500, and enterprise-level fraud solutions for organized crime groups. The most disturbing part? They have 24/7 customer support. Yes, you hear that right. Having trouble stealing someone's identity? Just open a support ticket. Some even offer money-back guarantees if their fraud tools don't work as promised. It's customer service for criminals. The whole ecosystem has four main players. 1. Providers. Criminal developers who build and maintain the fraud tools. 2. Resellers. People who market and sell access to these tools. 3. Customers. Anyone with a credit card who wants to commit fraud. 4. Support infrastructure. Dark web forums and encrypted channels where they all connect. This business structure means everyone can specialize in what they do best, making the whole operation more effective. What services are offered? The FaaS catalog keeps growing as new technologies emerge. Here's what's for sale right now. First, identity theft tools. These create synthetic identities by combining real and fake information. They can bypass liveness detection during verification checks by injecting pre-recorded video. And yes, they offer deepfake technology that creates realistic video and audio to impersonate you or anyone else. Then there are financial fraud tools, carding services for using stolen credit cards, account takeover kits that use your passwords, and even money laundering services through underground banking systems. The technical infrastructure is impressive. Phishing kits with pre-made templates that look identical to real websites, botnet rentals for launching attacks from thousands of computers at once, and bots that can create hundreds of fake accounts in minutes. Here's a real example of what this looks like in practice. Last year, a European energy company lost $230,000 when criminals used AI voice cloning to impersonate their CEO on a phone call. The voice was generated from just 3 minutes of audio from a company podcast. The deepfake technology came from a FaaS provider who charged just $50 for the service. The impact and global threat. The scale of this problem is staggering. The European Union alone lost $4.3 billion to fraud in 2022, and that number keeps climbing. The impact varies by region. In Asia Pacific, 97% of businesses are worried about organized fraud. Southeast Asia has become a testing ground for new fraud techniques, with over 400 million internet users at risk. North America has developed better countermeasures, with a growing industry of fraud detection startups, but they're still playing catch-up. Latin America is seeing explosive digital growth, with e-commerce growing 30% per year. Unfortunately, 1 in 5 transactions is now fraudulent. Europe faces massive card payment fraud, with 82% coming from online purchases where there's no physical verification. Sure, but the damage goes beyond just money. The real casualty is trust. When fraud becomes this common, people lose faith in digital systems. According to a 2022 report, 65% of banks admitted that fraudsters are now outsmarting their security systems. The scariest part? This criminal industry is growing faster than the legitimate tech sector. So, what can be done? Defending against FaaS requires a multi-layered approach. First, technological countermeasures. Real-time data integration that spots unusual patterns before money's lost. AI and machine learning systems that adapt as quickly as the criminals do. Behavioral biometrics that recognize how legitimate users behave versus fraudsters. And sophisticated authentication that goes way beyond passwords. Organizations need better processes too. Comprehensive risk assessments that account for these new threats. Constant monitoring of systems and transactions. Awareness training across all departments. And regular evaluations of security measures. But no single organization can fight this alone. We need better collaboration, information sharing between sectors and across borders, public-private partnerships that combine government resources with private sector expertise, and industry forums where companies can share what they're seeing in real time. Here are 3 things you can do right now to protect yourself. 1. Use unique passwords with a password manager and enable multi-factor authentication on every important account. 2. Monitor your credit reports and bank statements regularly for suspicious activity. 3. Be skeptical of unexpected communications, even if they seem to come from people you know. The conclusion. To sum up what we've covered, fraud as a service has industrialized cybercrime, making sophisticated attacks available to anyone willing to pay. The tools are becoming more advanced, using AI and deepfakes to bypass traditional security. The impact varies by region but affects everyone, and fighting back requires technology, good organizational practices, and much better collaboration. This isn't a problem that's going away. As our lives become more digital, the opportunities for fraud will only increase. But by understanding how these criminal services work, we can build better defenses. If you found this information valuable, check our free FaaS defense checklist in the description. It includes all the steps I mentioned today, plus additional resources for both individuals and businesses. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to stay ahead of emerging digital threats. And please share this video with friends or colleagues who need this information. Awareness is the first step in protection. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there.